How's it going, guys? It's the first time recording in a while. Um, so, I'm going to do like a sort of impromptu movie review, calling it Straight Out of the Theater, uh, where basically I see a movie, and I come back, and I'm right out of the theater. So, let's talk about Monster Money.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it.
Money Monster. So, Money Monster is a movie starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts.
On your own, X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock.
And Julia Roberts. So, basically, George Clooney is he owns a show about buying stocks and investing and such, and he tells his viewers, hey, this is good to buy, this is bad to buy, this is a good idea, these are bad ideas, okay? Bad ideas, don't do them. Good ideas, do them. So he goes and he's like, whoa, this company, right, Ibska, I don't remember what it's called. He's like, this company's really good, right? Invest in it. And then it crashes, and a lot of people lose money. But one particular individual lost a lot more money, I believe $60,000, by investing, which is all the money he had. And so he comes in, he straps a bomb to George Clooney, he pulls a gun, and he waves it around, and he's like, I'm gonna kill this guy if I don't get my message out. And the whole thing becomes this super intensity driven movie. So, let's just get this out in the open. Is it good? Yes. Is it extraordinary? No. Is it solid? No. One of the interesting things about this movie is that you were given this super intense scenario where you're on the edge of your seat, but it seems to have weird breaks of comedy in between. If you've seen Boys in the Hood, there's like some weird breaks of comedy in there, and this movie has a similar thing, but it's really strange. It's a drama film. It's drama, it's a thriller, but it is almost a satire as well. Not of any particular movies, but it's a satire of the of our culture almost. There's like parodies of TMZ and how people react to news, and how people act on television. Money Monster is the fictional show inside the movie. George Clooney is satirically, like, I don't understand how anyone takes him seriously, but it is like a parody of how we take some of the guys who tell us this seriously, and it's really interesting. It's a really interesting viewpoint, but and it's different. It's different. That's the thing I liked about it, is it's different, and it constantly makes those breaks of humor, which can occasionally ruin a moment, but it can also occasionally make the movie more interesting, and it does both. That's the problem why it's not solid, is it does both. It occasionally ruins a moment and occasionally makes a moment better. It's almost starkly realistic, but whenever it throws in those breaks of humor, it adds a little and it takes away a lot. I mean, it can take away a lot. There was one scene where this guy points a gun at George Clooney. he's like, I lost $60,000, and George Clooney goes, $60,000, I can get that for you, no problem. And he goes, I don't want 60,000. How about 800 million? And George Clooney goes, it'll take me a little bit longer to get that. That is one that ruined the scene. And it does that fairly regularly, on and off. But sometimes it can be funny and it can add to the scene. But overall, the movie's enjoyable. It's definitely worth a watch. Oscar worthy? No, I don't see it getting any Oscars. Maybe a nom? Probably not. All the acting was good. None of it was particularly provoking. It all felt very real. That was one of my favorite parts. Is it all felt real. It felt like something real was going on. And if someone went up to me and told me like, "Hey, this part of it was real," or "Hey, that show is real," I would totally believe it, because they had like a parody of TMZ that was just like TMZ. And if you told me that Money Monster was a real show, the fictional show inside the movie, if you told me if it was a real show, I would totally believe you, because it's ridiculous. George Clooney comes out, dressing up as a boxer, or dressing up with a gold chain with a dollar sign on it, and like a golden top hat. It's amazing how real yet satirical it is. But all the acting comes from a real place. There's no lines that require too much effort, I felt, except for the stick up. His name is Kyle. The guy who points the gun at George Clooney, his name is Kyle. He was fantastic. All of his acting came from like an emotional, unstable place. And George Clooney did well, of course. Julia Roberts did well, of course. Just about everyone did well. The only real problem with it is that it's sometimes it's occasionally hard to take serious because of the weird comedic breaks. But nevertheless, it's a good movie. My Money Monster gets a 6 out of 10 on... No, I'm going to go 7. I'm going to go 7 out of 10 on the scale of how good it is. And my enjoyment level was 9 out of 10 because this is different. So I was straight out of the theater. And that's where this one ends. I'll see you guys later.